Hey guys, Jake Blow here, the Habitat Pro. What we're going to look at today is how to get your own evergreen forest growing, kind of a little nursery, and you can do it from seed as long as you know where on your property you might be successful doing that. I'm going to show you that by example today here on the channel. That is what we do all the time on this channel. We take you on our client properties and we show you things that you might be able to use this season on your property to develop your habitat and improve your deer hunting. All right, guys, look at those huge balsam fir there. See that? And then right over there, we've got a big planting of spruce. Those are going to get thinned out and possibly put a food plot in. Landowner hasn't decided on that yet, but we've got both contingencies available for them. Hey, like and subscribe if this is of any help to you guys. What I'm showing you here today is why these are growing, okay? So we've got mature trees dropping seed right here. Okay, now I sell tree seed of pretty much every different kind of seed of shrub and tree that is good for deer. And this is what I like to see. This is a nursery planting right here that is natural. Now where this is it's on the north facing side of big timber, because what happens here is on the north facing side of big timber, the grass doesn't do very well. So seed can get to the dirt. So that's number one. You got to get seed to the dirt, okay? Then the second thing is we've got to have enough moisture for it to grow. And in order to do that, this north-facing side of the timber never gets cooked out, okay? Never gets cooked out by the sun, whereas a south-facing slope would do that. Now, I haven't been counting the trees here, but you guys can see what's crazy is we've got spruce right there, we've got balsam right here, because we've got spruce and balsam right here in this area dropping seed all the time. And all we've done is let them grow. Okay, so now what's cool about this is with the tree mover, I mean, look at that. This is on the north side. And last year that grew, what is that, 10 inches? Okay. And this is where these trees are just ready to explode. I mean, look at this growth here. So what you can do is you can look at, okay, there's 1 year of growth right there. This is the second year down to that seam right there. And there's the third year to that right there. And then the fourth and the fifth, that's at least a 5-year-old root system, maybe 6. What happens here on the north-facing side of this timber is it doesn't get full sun every day, and it just stays damp, okay? But if these were full sun, like if we pop these out with a tree mover right now and put them full sun where we need screening, the growth would just explode. Okay, now I'm going to show you out in the ditch where we've got a lot of that coming as well, so you can see the absolute explosion of growth. Free trees. I mean, all of these are tree mover type trees, you know, like that one. I wouldn't want to dig that out with a shovel necessarily. It might work, but I'd have to take a lot of dirt. I mean, you go cutting off that taproot that's all the way down, you're going to run out of you're going to set it back a couple of years as it tries to develop its root system. You're really going to shock it. There's some more balsam right there. Right here, I'm going to go out to the ditch, though, around the corner and show you what we see on the west-facing slope. All right, so we are looking south. That means to the right is west. So this is shaded all day until probably the dinner hour. And you can see right here a couple of huge old spruce dropping cones forever. And that's where we just walked from, right up there by the truck. And now I'm going to take you along this edge and you're going to just see them. I mean, you can see there's about 15 of them right there. And then there's a few more down in the ditch right here. So on the south facing slopes is not a great spot to try to grow trees from seed because they always cook out. Now look at this one. This is just a really short one. I mean, what is that? That's 20 feet tall, but that's a cone dropper. And you can see along there all of those. I mean, there's hundreds right along here. And across the way, look at that. See, that's where our white pine came from. Because now we're looking northwest. And all of that stuff blows right across the top of the snow and comes in and settles over here. So by noon, this is in full shade. And look at all these trees. Directly adjacent to the big block of seed dropping spruce. Planted at a terrible 4 times the amount rate. So all of these are movable. Transplantable with a shovel. I got a cedar there. Transplantable with a shovel, just hundreds. I don't even know if I could count them. You start popping them loose in here, and I'm sure there's going to be some spots where they're just 3 of them in one shovelful. Just look at that. All free, guys, because this particular area had crappy grass and shade for the better part of the day. All right, now what can we do with that? Well, number one, if you have north-facing sides of big timber or west-facing slopes, and better ones are the ones that I showed you that are shielded also from the west a little bit, you've got the perfect conditions as long as you get that grass out of the way. So what can you do first? Number one, go look at the spot you think match the conditions that I just said. A north-facing side of the timber, a north-facing slope, a west-facing slope that's shielded for part of the day from all the hot sun. Go look at those spots and see what the grass competition looks like. If you've got a lot of thatch and you can't stand in it and see to the dirt, then you're going to have to get that grass out of the way a little bit. You're going to have to mow it. I would personally do a really short burn on the north side of a slope and on the west side of a slope. Oftentimes you can run a fire at a time of the year where it's not very dangerous to do. You can mow yourself a burn break pretty easy. And once you've got that thatch out of the way, get your seed to the ground right away. All you've got to do is get it in with, you can do it with an aerator. You can, like a lawn aerator, like a core aerator, something that punches out and does the little tiny, looks like a little turd, just like that. Then get your seed right in there. And all you got to do then is let her buck, okay? Now that is going to take a while to develop, of course, and it'll be slower if you let that grass continue to grow. On the north slope, that's one where you can keep spraying the grass and knocking it back so you don't get a huge amount of thatch, but a little bit does help you. Obviously, you're retaining moisture then. And all it is from there on is making sure you're not mowing that area, making sure you're letting it come, and this is what you see behind me. This is it. Like, all this is these guys have owned this property forever. They have a couple of huge seed dropping trees, and this is what they've got now. So this client, I'm going to suggest they purchase a tree mover for a skid steer. There's specific ones that are better, so don't just think you can buy any one of them, because some of my clients have had ones that don't work worth a hoot. You've got to get good at moving the right trees as well. So make sure you're moving a size that is appropriate for your tree mover, your tree spade. And if you've got a spot that is really valuable, that's where I suggest, especially if you have volunteers on the property, if you have, by volunteers, I mean volunteer growth. If you have on the property trees in that, they're under 15 foot, they're under about 4 inch in diameter, the 65 inch or 90 inch tree spades, those guys can move those trees all day long. So if you've got a bunch, it might benefit you to connect with one of those guys and say, hey, all these are on the property. How much have you just brought your truck out for the entire day? I just want you moving trees on my property to different, more valuable parts of my property, screening, maybe some pockets you've got in a grass field that you want to build around that are currently just pasture, knocked down to nothing, where you can still get the big truck in there. Those spots that are real valuable, those are the ones that you're going to want to focus on first with your volunteer growth that is of a size that's really going to help you, really going to take off. if that was of any help to you guys, please like and subscribe. That is how you pay us back here for all the free advice and bringing you on client properties with us to see what they've got that might match something that you have. And if you want this kind of seed, I've got this seed, I've got evergreen seed, I've got tree and shrub seed. Hit me on email. That's best. I have information ready to go there, and we'll get connected and see what you've got in place on your property to start growing this stuff from seed. This is Jake with the Habitat Pro. Get out and enjoy creation, guys. Good luck this season, and God bless.